Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How is it going? So basically, this is what I learned today because in my salah I had asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to teach me, to give me wisdom and understanding. So this is what I had received. Phenomenal. At birth, or rather after birth, the parent, mother, passes on milk to the infant child in its waning stage. But should be a no-brainer, but pretty much sometimes you just don't really use your brain. That could be anyway, right? So basically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have put in the bosoms of women anything he wanted. He could have put honey, could have put I don't know, uh, pretty much nothing in there, if anything, right? He could have put water. He could have put, I don't know. I'm just thinking of all the things that he really could have, things that are mentioned in the Quran, like apple juice. That's not mentioned in the Quran. I'm just thinking of many things. But of all the things that he mentioned in the Quran, he could have put any of that, but he chose milk for the child. So what I had received was the child. Let me see what else. Let me see how it went. The milk for the baby is for the bones to grow. Okay. Sounds simple, right? Not until you imagine it. A baby, let's just say, is about maybe max 9-10 inches, unless you're a really big baby. Beyond the big baby, you're like either 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe even crazy as it is 10 pounds, even more than that, God knows, right? Or maybe even smaller than the 6 pounds, maybe 4 pounds, premature, whatever. So the thing is, you're about approximately a feet's length. I don't know, I'm just thinking, I don't know the last time I even, got to hold a baby. Stuff for a while. So you're pretty much fit in an arm, subhanallah. But you start to grow out like Slender Man toys, I'm just saying, what's another one? You start to grow like those when you're a kid, like maybe if you were in a certain country, like our country used to have like these gooey toys, and you just start to stretch it out, or like kind of like Play-Doh, it's just like a little, if you take a little pinch of Play-Doh and then you start to stretch it out. So this is basically what the milk is doing to us. It's not only calcium to strengthen your bones, but as an infant, the milk is there to help or assist in the process of elongating your bones. How about that? And that's a perfect thing to go ahead and use, because guess what the whole entire world knows as milk for calcium for the bones. So incredible. And the other day, I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to just to give me wisdom and understanding. So I don't want to share it on a public platform so you would teach me. But that's basically what it is. You just ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for wisdom and understanding, and that's there. The other day I learned about nitrogen. The other day before that I was learning about hydrogen, and then way before that I was learning about oxygen. And the amazing part about knowing that it's from God is because it comes down in increments, and then after that it's kind of like you just have to trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to just do what he's doing, and just believe that this creator of the heavens and the earth and seeing, if you're asking for this wisdom and understanding, he will give it to you. He will give it to you. I don't know none of this from none of this, because number one, I don't have a child. Number two, I am a child. And number three, my husband's a child. And number four, I have no knowledge about kids whatsoever, nothing. and neither does my husband. So it's for the fact that all this conversation would even never come up across us, or we wouldn't even be looking for it. It's like the last thing in our minds, although we wish, we could have. And Allahu Alam, Allah does things the way that He does, and He's a perfect planner. So, yeah. So the milk, it's not only used to strengthen your bones, but it's there to elongate your bones. Yep. So you can grow out from being 1 feet to like 4 feet, or maybe 2 feet, or maybe like 6 feet or 7 feet, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decrees the measure for you. He decrees, pretty much your measurement for you. Like in Surah Ta'ala, that's basically what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. Funny thing is, when I received this morning, later on, the surah that I got to read when me and my friend were studying together, she and I, we actually made dua. We read Surah Fatiha before we even turned to want to read a surah. And together we read Surah Ta'ala, the Most High, and in it talks about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala proportioned us in measurement. And then as we studied the Arabic, it was much more profound as we get into study the Arabic and to understand what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also means, like the type of things that He measures for. The word in Arabic is not just measure, it's much more than that, and that's what we studied. But anyways, the point is, start to study the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about. If He mentions date palms, study date palms. It's something I mentioned before. If He mentions milk, study milk. If He mentions honey, study honey. If He mentions nahl, study the nahl. If He mentions namal, study the namal. If He mentions ankabut, study the ankabut. Anything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran is of grave significance to humanity. And it's just, even the slightest word, it could just be like, okay, in English it'll be the word that. But what's the word behind that in Arabic? So it could just be, for example, you'll think, okay, that which gives sunlight. So you'll study the subject in Arabic, which you'll study the word sunlight in Arabic, but you won't study that which gives sunlight. Like, you won't individually break it down. So that's what I've been, I'm not going to talk about it working on, but essentially the thing is, it's just, I'm like getting stuck again and again and again, and astaghfirullah. But if you do, then that's the best thing you can do. Break it down in Arabic. I may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide you, and I'll keep sharing the things I learned, although Illuminati will never release my channel, or the evil ones, whoever's behind the obstruction. But if you get a chance to come across this video, then subhanAllah, good for you. Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one day be able to go ahead and share all this vast knowledge with all those that He will. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May peace and blessings be upon Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Messiah Yeshua HaMashiach, Isa ibn Maryam, Musa alayhi salam. So, oh, by the way, talking about Ibrahim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, may peace and blessings be upon him. There's a book that was given to, also the way the book was also given to Ibrahim sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and that's mentioned in Surah Ta'ala. Check that out. That's the last verse, I believe, the last verse, or the last to the other verse. Subhanallah. Alright, assalamu alaikum.